You're talking with the Better Business Bureau about employment scams. This is another advice for job seekers. Beware, the first 3 months of 2023, the Better Business Bureau reported an increase of employment scams since last year. Job hunters tell the Better Business Bureau that the financial impact is devastating. Joining us live over Zoom is Monde Donaldson from the Better Business Bureau. Monde, how much money are people losing in these scams?
They are losing thousands of dollars because they are so desperate for a job. And unfortunately, this started during the pandemic, and it's still continuing to race out of control.
How do these employment scams work? How are they able to trick people?
Well, they see people looking for jobs on legitimate apps that we all know, like LinkedIn, Indeed, maybe Craigslist. But then they go to use other apps as well, WhatsApp, Telegram, and they start looking for people that are desperate for looking for jobs. They copycat websites and things like that, and then they offer these. There's 3 types of scams that they offer that are just blowing people away and taking their money.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about those 3 types of scams.
These are the ones that we want to really alert folks to: reshipping scams, mystery shopper scams, and one I wasn't that familiar with called car wrapping scams. And that's when you agree to put decals on your car for a product, and they send you some money ahead of time and tell you to go get somebody to do the signs for you. Then they have your account information. So what these fraudsters are looking for is your money and your personal information.
So they're getting that personal information, and then they are taking advantage of that and scamming you out of a lot of money.
Right. We have people that have lost $15,000. We've had a lot of people that have lost $2,000. It ranges depending on what scam they are falling for.
Monde, what are red flags for job seekers? What should they look out for and say, hey, that's a big red flag. This is a warning. I need to back away from this.
Great question, Sally. So they're asking for money up front. They're offering you way too much money for the job that you are qualified for. They contact you by a cold call or just a random text. So, we tell people don't talk to strangers. So if somebody sends you a random text saying, I've got the job for you, then you better stay away from that.
What are some quick tips for those seeking a new position to make sure that they aren't scammed?
The best thing you can do is, of course, check with the Better Business Bureau first, but then also go to the company's website and check with them and verify with them that they do have a job opening. Check the URLs. And just be very cautious when anybody is asking you to send money up front and do things that you normally would not do.
You mentioned those URLs. Often it's just a letter off, a simple change in a website, so it looks legitimate.
It looks legitimate. Oftentimes they are actually stealing the logo off the legitimate website. So look for the little lock up at the front. And I will say, I do want to add that some of the bigger companies like LinkedIn and Meta and Craigslist are actually just warning people all the time to be aware of these types of scams.
There are so many scams going around out there. If you fall victim to one, what should you do?
I would report it to the Better Business Bureau, of course, right away to our scam tracker. That's bbb.org/scam tracker. And then another thing you can do is let the company know itself. Many large companies actually have fraud departments, and I would suggest that as well.
Monde, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your advice as always. Unfortunately, scammers are still out there. They're continuing to find new ways to try to scam people out of their money. So we appreciate you trying to help protect our viewers. Where can folks go to learn more about all the scams that are happening right now?
Yes, they could go to our bbb.org/scam tracker. And you can actually see what scams are going on in your community. And then we also really encourage people to report these scams so that others won't fall victim.
It's so important to let others know about these scams. You may not get your money back, but you can help protect somebody else from losing their money. Monde, thank you again for joining us. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Sally.